What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic night. It's Monday night, usually a victory Monday, but, well, the Eagles, they didn't want to win, and, we got ourselves a short week. So, games on Friday, 3 o'clock, and, dude, so the initial injury report will be out tomorrow. Game status report will be out Thursday. A lot of things are getting jumbled together. So I'm going to try to make this show the injury report tomorrow and then top matchups Wednesday. I'll give you the game status report on Thursday, Thanksgiving, of course, if I can, in a video. But, Friday, we'll be having a game again. So as pissed off as I am about the game, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to watch the Bears, and I'm ready to see this Eagles team get there together. But we'll talk about that later. Right here, right now, we're going to talk about Week 13 and getting ready for that next opponent, because Eagles don't have time to sit there and wallow in their misery. We know the media, the casual fans that have been sitting here licking their chops, praising that the Eagles lose every game. They got their moment. They got their Super Bowl win. We'll watch them all become huge Eagles fans again soon, I promise you. So I'd love to sit here and talk about that, repeat the same exact thing over and over again, and talk about the same things, trading A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, firing Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni. It just gets old for me. So we're going to stick with football here. You guys can let me know how you feel. If you want to repeat some of the same stuff everyone's saying, or you read something, want to repeat that, or whatever is going on, or maybe you're ready for some football, I'd love to hear from you as well. So Week 13, we actually got ourselves, one of the people we looked at on the schedule beginning of the year. Oh, yeah, this should be an easy win, an easier opponent, shall I say? No easy wins in the NFL, but I would say, this team has surprised a lot of people. They've been doing well, but maybe their level of competition isn't the greatest, but definitely doing well. So, hey, man, the Bears, we're not going to sleep on anyone this season, right? But we definitely better wake up for this one. We've got an intriguing show ahead. So I'd love to hear from you. Any kind of questions, comments you got here. I'm going to go over everything you need to know. But again, the game is at 3 o'clock on Friday. So taking a look at this coaching staff here, the Chicago Bears, this is somebody that, Ben Johnson, their head coach, just came from the Lions, who, the greatest offense of all time, that we allowed to have, 7 points there, or maybe they got some garbage time, whatever. But I just think that, this is a very great coach, and he is the head coach, but he's also the play caller for them. Declan Doyle there, kind of just, a right-hand man for him, assistant head coach, whatever. But Dennis Allen is there, and we know, this is a guy that I know, he got in some trouble there, so a lot of people think of him as an aggressive guy. I don't think he's like a blitz happy guy. When he does send pressure, he knows what he's doing. I do think he's a very smart defensive minded guy, but a lot of man coverage, a lot more even fronts, more so a 4-2, sometimes a 4-1 that they're going to play. So very explosive offense, we shall say, and a defense that's intriguing as well. So this is a team, they've got little cap space with Ryan Poles there. He's done everything he could to try to help them out here this year and turn this franchise around. So, hey, look, again, they are doing that right now. So good for them. But usually this is the time where I will tell you, let's take a look at how they've been doing. I'm going to give you more so the individual stats in a second here, because the game hasn't been played tonight on Monday night yet. So I don't have the weekly stats. So I'll bring those with for the top matchup show, as I always do, but none right now as it stands. But again, I will go over this as we talk about when we look at the depth chart here in a second. But let's take a look with what they have been doing. The defense definitely have had its struggles. The offense finding itself a little bit, but they're 8-3, man. Top of their division. We've beaten these other teams. You see the Packers there too. You see the Lions at 3, Vikings at 4. And look, man, now it's the Bears. Oh my! So 8-3. Not only are they number 1 in their division, but they're right behind us at number 3 in the conference standings. Now, these conference standings will move around once the Panthers and the 49ers play tonight. So that'll just be between like 7 and 9 and whatever else really changes there. But Rams are going to keep number 1 because they're 9-2. So we beat them. So I guess that makes us the best, right? But no, the Bears, you see there, 8-3, just like the Eagles, just like the Seahawks here. So a tight race for the top battle in the NFC. And look, man, this Bears team, again, not a team you want to sleep on, but definitely dealing with a plethora of injuries. So the Eagles, yes, they're banged up going into this week, but so are the Bears. So are a lot of teams heading into week 13 of the NFL season. But before we look at the depth chart, let's look at who's on their injury list here. And you can see on the IR a bunch of guys. You got Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, 2 corners there, and then Roshan Johnson's there, and Braxton Jones, and the rookie Shamar Turner. So we've got some important pieces there. And then their practice squad has some IR guys. And they just took Nikola Kalinick there, who was elevated for this last game, was now just placed on their practice squad IR. So got a few guys there. And then the rookie Frazier on the NFI list. So non-football injury list. None of these guys you will see on the depth chart. We'll see if any of these guys get activated during this week. I'll let you know. You can see on the offense here, Caleb Williams leading the way, and he's definitely vastly improved. He's got 2,568 yards on the season, 233.5 yards per game, 16 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, has been sacked 17 times, though. But, I mean, that's not too crazy. And I think, for as much slack as he gets, and I think a lot of people get offended that he wears nail polish or whatever. A lot of people get upset, because they wear it behind closed doors or they're mad at him. I don't know, whatever personal stuff they got. I could care less what these dudes want to do on their own time. As a quarterback, I think, he's a kid with a lot of promise, and anybody who watched football knew that. So those getting worked up and offended about whatever, I guess they slept on him. But the kid's showing people what he is about, man. And this is definitely, again, not somebody you want to sleep on. And Kyle Monangai, the rookie, he's really been coming into his own. He actually out-snapped DeAndre Swift. The starter there is what they have him listed as. But, kind of that lightning and thunder you had over there with the Lions, Montgomery and Gibbs there. So you've got Swift, the pass-catching quicker back, and then the power dude in Monangai. So got to watch out for that. Obviously, the Eagles were able to shut that down. But you've got Adunze, you've got DJ Moore, and then I love me some Luther Burden. We talked about him before the draft. These are some really good receivers. Olamide Zaccheaus is there. You got rookie Ja'Day Walker. Devin Duvernay is there now. So, look, man, intriguing pieces. And Udunze's got 6 touchdowns. DJ Moore just got his 3rd. He's been really falling off, but found himself a little. Luther Burden getting more into the offense here, finding himself starting, getting more playing time. Somebody I'd watch out for with those big home run plays that Ben Johnson would look for. Watch out for Luther Burden. Cole Kmet there, and then rookie Colston Loveland playing a lot of that 12 personnel, those tight packages Ben Johnson likes to run. So got to watch out for these tight ends. And then you can see Theo Benedette. He's actually a little banged up right now. The initial injury report will be out tomorrow. I'll let you know there. But here's just the list of the starters. And then you can see Wright. And then they added Thuney, Dahlman, and Jackson to the interior here. You can see the key down at the bottom right. Anyone in orange, new to the team this year. Anyone orange with an outline is a rookie. And then white, well, they've been there. Now moving on to the defensive side of the ball. They were without like all of their effing linebackers. I feel like this past game, Edwards banged up and Sewell and all kinds of guys are hurt. So I'll make sure to keep you up to date with what's going on here. But again, that injury report is tomorrow. This is your basic 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, a lot of nickel, and they just signed CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's been getting play time at nickel, and you got Byard and Brisker there at safeties. Stevenson and Wright, their corner with Gardner-Johnson. So, Sweat and Booker are some good, defensive ends. But to me, our offensive line needs to get it together. And these are some underrated defensive linemen here. We do not want to let them be doing anything here. I'm just so pissed off about this game that the Bears, man. But Sweat's got 7.5 sacks on the season. Dexter, their interior lineman's got 4. So, go get you somebody. Third on their team list. I don't think he did it with their team, but CJ Gardner-Johnson with 3 sacks. So, again, not something to be feared, their line, but the Eagles, they should fear anyone at this point, the way their line's been playing. So, get it together, man. This defense, really, the Eagles should be able to do some things the way they're banged up, but only time will tell. We'll talk about that more during the top matchup show. And then you see here in the special teams department, Santos, Taylor, Daly, and then Devin Duvernay there to handle both return capabilities there. And look, responsibilities, whatever, Jesus. Burton's there if you need. And then, hey, Josh Blackwell, as you saw with the corners, former Eagle, if you remember him. But then the practice squad, they don't have a quarterback or running back there. They don't have an interior D lineman or a tackle. So I didn't list those guys. You can see the positions they do have. A couple receivers, tight ends, guards. They have a center, a few defensive ends, linebackers, corners, safeties. Now, if you're a Bears fan and you're watching this saying, what the hell, who's this guy? When did they made these moves earlier today? I always like to try to keep up to date, not only with the Eagles, but I just can't help myself to do the same with everyone else's team. So you guys signed Kadir Ismail, the tight end, and then you placed, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Nikolai, whatever, on the practice squad IR. Then you had signed as well Jeremiah Martin, the defensive end, and linebacker Dominique Hampton. So those were the moves made for them. You could see the color chart for them, all the new signings, all that great stuff. But the stats, the comparison of stats, and the comparison of everything else for the Eagles and Bears, that's coming as usual with the top matchup show. Now, as I said, I think I'm going to try to put that out on Wednesday now. So tomorrow will be the initial injury report for both teams. We'll see what's going on. A lot going on for both teams. And then on Wednesday, you'll get the top matchup show with updated injury report, whatever else is happening. And then Thursday, you'll get that game status report at some point. It is Thanksgiving, remember. So I'll try to get it in there. Or maybe I'll just make a post, let you know who's out, questionable, all that great stuff. But Friday, we'll have a pregame, postgame show. Just keep in mind, short week. So let's get it in. It's that holiday season already. Holy hell. Week 13. My God. But all I've got for you here tonight. If you guys have anything you'd like to add, any questions, please feel free. If you want to mimic the media or whatever you got going on, leave it down below. But always here for you. You know, it doesn't have to be about the birds. You got anything going on in life. Always want to be here for you guys as you are for me. Love each and every one of you. Hope you're having a great start to your week. I know. I woke up angry, so I'm doing my best to just truck along here, and thank you for the short week. But hope to hear from you guys. Until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!